Hi there, this is a video about the earth element and the earth element Qigong as applied to our practice. And just as a brief introduction, the earth element is associated with the season of late summer, the colour yellow, and the organs of the spleen and the stomach. Unlike the wood element, the earth element is unable to reach up and gather energy itself. Rather, it is a more passive. It's a gathering. It's a storing. It's in stillness that we find that earth chi. When we find ourselves prone to excess thinking or worrying and stress, these emotions deplete that earth chi. They affect the spleen and the stomach, affecting our digestion. So weak earth chi can give us a tendency to worry. But equally, if we find ourselves in a stressful situation, this depletes or weakens our earth chi. So from my personal experience of this, in situations where I've found myself stressed and overthinking about things, it affects my digestion, and this manifests differently for different people depending on their constitution. But for myself, this tends to be, I get congestion and excess mucus because the digestive fire is diminished. It's unable to burn off and eliminate these things. So I've found the earth element practice to be of great benefit. But it's not just about if you're feeling stressed or when you're feeling stressed. Qigong works best as maintenance, as a general practice. Of course, we lean into certain elements depending on the season and our individual situation. Like if I'm, as example, was feeling a bit more stressed or worried about things, we just do lean a little more into that earth element practice to help us remain balanced, to help us regulate those things. And just to stay on top of things. Having strong digestive energy is always a good thing. Being able to remain calm and centered and focused is always a positive. So, having said that, I'll step back and we'll begin the practice. As this is a separate sort of standalone video, I'll once again begin with the holistic regulating, that practice that is about balancing the upper and lower aspects of our body, as we often have a little bit of stagnation in the lower half of our system. So we'll practice the holistic regulating and then step into the earth element practice itself. So, having said that, let's get into it. Okay. With both hands, I reach down into the earth and reach up beyond the heavens, the centre of all it is, and I bring that energy down through the crown and I send it down to earth. Holding the tension in the left, I reach down with the right hand, reaching right up beyond the heavens, centre of all it is, and I bring that down through the crown and I press to the heel and the toe. I soften the left hand and I sweep it around like I'm wiping dust off a surface. And I reach down into the earth and I gather that earth chi and I send it up to the centre of all it is. I bring it down through the crown and I press once again to the heel and the toe. Soften the right hand, reach down into the earth, up beyond the heavens, the centre of all it is, back down to the heel and the toe. Both hands reach down, reaching up and down. Beginning the earth element. Inhale, bring those hands into the centre of the abdomen, somewhere around the solar plexus. Now the spleen itself is off to the left hand side here, but we don't need to focus directly on bringing the hands to the spleen. Just exhale, inhale, bring in the fresh chi. Exhale, release the stale. Inhale, absorb the new. Matching the breath with the movements, sending it back and forth, recharging and refreshing and releasing. I inhale the new and I exhale the stale. And one more. I shift the hands up to the sides, moving down and floating up. Press down with a little bit of tension, and progressively I get lower as I send this down into the earth. Inhale up and exhale down. 2 more. Down as low as is comfortable. I reach down to the earth and I draw that energy up the inside of the legs. And I make a circle around my abdomen, around the stomach area. Inhale up and exhale down. It's really a good idea to imagine that it's really giving yourself that self-care, refreshing and renewing. In terms of the 5 animal frolics, the earth element is also associated with the bear. So you can imagine you've got a nice bear belly at the moment if you wish, and you're rubbing that around. And my hands aren't actually in contact with my stomach, but you can visualise that warmth that you're giving yourself. And then we can reverse the direction. And on the last one, you connect the hands together as Gong points to the palms, and you press just below the navel or around there. And it's with a little bit of tension. It's like you really press that in so you can really feel sort of resistance right into your spine and lower back, and you release. Press in, inhale, exhale, release. Inhale as before, refresh. Exhale, release. Recharge, renew, let go. Inhale to press in, exhale to release. 2 more. Hands float up. You may feel saliva in your mouth. Swallow that down as you press down with the hands. And closing that off, once again you reach down below the floor, up beyond the heavens, and bring it down through your crown, down to earth. I think it's a good idea to always just take a moment in stillness to conclude the practice. Rest your hands comfortably below your navel and just focus on the breath, observing the breath as it enters your nose and exits your nose. Paying attention to the breath deepens our breathing to the abdomen, and then breathe in a little more. Breathe right up into the upper chest. Not forced, relaxed but deep, calm and centered. And then when you're ready, you can return to your normal breathing and move forward in stillness. All right. Thank you.